premier entretien de la journée, ce sera en anglais et avec la présence de quelqu'un qui traduit en japonais. So, before we start, can I have your consent that you're okay for me to record?
Yes, it's fine.
You're fine? Okay. Do you have any questions before we start? It's too clear.
I wish.
You don't?
For the moment, it's fine.
That's fine? Okay, great. So, just a couple of questions about your socio-demographic data. Can I have your age?
Yes, I'm 34.
34.
Years old.
Are you married, in a relationship?
Yes, I'm married with a French guy.
French guy. Do you have any kids?
No.
Okay. So your country of origin is Japan. Your native language is Japanese. What other language do you speak?
I speak English and French a little bit.
Okay. Do you know your level in French, or you don't know? Did you pass any exams in French?
Yes, I passed DELF, B2.
B2?
Oui.
Okay, you passed B2 exam. Okay. How long have you been in France?
It's been 1.5 months.
1.5 months, ok. Oui. Oui, non, mais j'ai demandé déjà. Oui, il va faire le tour, c'est le dernier. Merci beaucoup. Okay, what was the reason of coming to France?
To live with my husband.
Who's your husband? Okay, and your husband is French?
Yes.
He's French, okay. Do you have medical insurance here?
Right now, not yet, but I have like travel insurance of Japan.
Okay.
So I have it, so if I need to go to hospital, I can use it.
You can use it. Have you used it? Have you seen a doctor since you arrived?
Not
yet. So you don't have a doctor here in France?
No, not yet.
A couple of questions about your level in French. So you said your French level is B2. Are you able to communicate in a complicated situation? Like, can you open a bank account in French? Can you?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. What would you say you can do in French? The extent of extent of situation that you can manage in French?
The situation. For example, if I order something in the restaurant, I can manage, and to ask for something in the, I don't know how to say it, in the guichet, I can manage, but if it's more complicated, like where I need to use some specific term, it's difficult to manage by myself.
And do you read French better, or do you speak it better? Is it the written better or the
For me, I think reading French is better for me.
Reading is better. Do you find difficulties in understanding French people when they speak? Okay, why is that? Do they speak fast, or?
Maybe they speak first, and then probably they use a term that I don't know. Okay. Because in fact, when I find some word that I don't know, I stop to think. Then while I'm thinking, the people continue to speak. Then I miss the trail. That's why I think I feel difficulty to understand people speak.
What kind of studies did you do?
Study?
Yeah.
I did a pharmaceutical study in the university.
In Japan?
Yes.
Was that in English or in Japanese?
In Japanese.
Japanese. Did you study in other language other than Japanese? Like study your studies?
I study a little bit in English, but it was for like 6 months, and it was about development studies, but that's all.
And the rest is in Japanese? Okay, what kind of work do you do actually? Do you work?
Right now?
Yeah.
No, I don't have a job right now.
Okay, what were you working after your studies? In what field?
I was working in the pharmacies in a hospital, and then recently I worked in a kind of organization, non-governmental organization.
Médecins du Monde?
No, it was in fact the Médecins Sans Frontières.
Médecins Sans Frontières? Okay, cool. In Japan?
No, in fact, I belong to the Tokyo office, but my work is to go other country to work there.
Okay. So, which country did you go to?
I went to some countries in Africa and Papua New Guinea, and one country in Arab.
In Arab countries? Okay.
Which? Lebanon.
Ah, Lebanon. Okay. And there, did you use English mostly to communicate?
Only English.
Only English. Okay. No Arabic.
No.
So this is a couple of questions about health literacy, but like I suppose you already know well because you work in the field. So yeah, the first one is called single item literacy screener. So basically, in Japanese, how often do you need to have someone help you read instruction or pamphlets or any material from your doctor or pharmacy in Japanese? Never, rarely, sometimes.
In Japanese?
Yeah, like if you do go to see a doctor and he give you a prescription or something, do you need someone to help you reading
Oh,
them?
no.
Okay.
I can manage by myself.
Okay. Yeah. So the second one, it's a test called the short assessment of health literacy. So we're gonna do it in Japanese because it's more convenient to do it in. But again, if you we can also switch between English and Japanese.
You
So
just show it, or like I just read?
no, I think I will show it. So
Okay.
I need you to read the. So this is the instruction, I guess. To read the first one, first,
Yes.
and tell me if it's related more to the second or the third, or you don't know. So for example, kidney, which is here in Japanese, just tell me if it's more related to urine, fever, or you don't know, and then we go through the list. Yeah.
Wow.
So just tell me.
The first.
First is related.
Gonzo, c'est. Deuxième, numéro.
Urine. Okay, to the
Oui,
second. Okay.
The second, 仕事. The deuxième,
Yeah.
like the
Education.
occupation is the work.
Work.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the third, medication with treatment. Yeah. The third one.
Okay.
And the fourth, deuxième, health.
Health.
Yeah.
Okay. Nutrition, healthy. Okay.
And then 5, abortion. Deuxième.
Miscarriage loss. Okay.
6, infection, virus.
Okay.
7, alcohol. It depends. 中毒. Addiction. 8, niece, pregnancy, 出産.
Birth. Okay.
9, 発作. めまい.
Dizzy. Okay. 9 disease.
10, 服用量. Amount.
Yeah.
Amount.
So dose amount. Okay.
11, hormone. 成長. Growth. 12, 異常.
Oh.
異なる. Different.
Different. Okay.
これは何ですか? 監督.
If the translation is not good, you can do it in English also.
Maybe.
In English, it's directed instruction or decision. If you can.
Instruction.
Okay.
神経南部. 神経体不安.
Anxiety.
便秘. ゆるい.
You can see it in English if you want. Maybe it's translation is not good.
Yeah, like no, it's okay.
Good, okay.
I think. Blocked. Yeah,
Okay.
blocked. 診断. 評価. Evaluation.
Okay.
字. 血管. Veins.
Pains. Okay.
梅毒.
Syphilis.
Yeah. Condom. Yeah.
You aced the test, so that's clear. You work in the field, so. So I'm assuming you have a smartphone. Okay. What kind of use you usually use your phone for? Like, do you use it mostly to call people, social, look up information?
Right now I use more for sending messages and also to check the meaning of the words in French.
Okay, perfect. Do you use it to Google information, to find information?
Oh, yes.
In which language do you normally use it for looking for information?
Normally in Japanese.
In Japanese. And so, which brings us to the translation tools. You said you use it for translation sometimes. Which tool do you use?
In fact, I didn't really decide, but I just chose the I don't know, first or second one, which was appeared on the screen, and I'm not sure it said GIS.
So it's an application that you downloaded?
No, it's not downloaded. I access to the Google.
Okay.
And then I just search in Japanese, and if there is some site which appeared on the screen, I chose. And to see, it's not really application.
So you use Google, and then from Google you find whatever site that shows. From which language to which language you use that?
Normally it's between French and Japanese, but sometimes I try to see between English, Japanese, because sometimes I find that I forget some words in English. So to just be sure that if I really remember, I use it between English and Japanese.
Do you ever use it from French to English instead of from French to Japanese, or?
French English not too often. Okay. But sometimes, for example, when I talk with my husband, and then when we talk in English, and if we want to know how we say in French, sometimes we use, but not really often.
Okay. So you communicate with your husband in English? The common language is English?
The common language is English, but we are trying to speak in French.
Oh, okay. And so he speaks to you in French and you answer in French, or you?
Yes, normally, yes, we try. But if it's a bit complicated to speak in French for me, and also complicated to understand for me, we use English.
Does he speak Japanese?
Not really, a little bit.
A little bit, just cover over. So the tool you're using for translation, how accurate do you think it is? Accurate.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you trust it?
Yes, because in fact I don't know, I don't really remember the name of the site, but it shows a lots of possibilities. So I could say that probably one of them is accurate.
Okay. So would you, for example, would you trust this tool if the language you're using for is a language that you don't know at all? For example, if you're using it for Arabic, would you trust it? Because at least you know a little bit French, so you can decide. But like,
no.
You wouldn't. Okay.
No, because as there are lots of choices, then I can imagine the meaning. But because I have kind of basic of the language, but if I don't know the language at all, I cannot
choose
at all. So then I don't say that I can trust it.
So for now, your husband translates for you sometimes?
Yes, from French to English, yes.
Could you tell us any situation that he did that, and how was it, in what context? Like an example. Did he go with you to prefecture? Did you with friends, social context, anything that?
Yes. He, in fact, to open my bank account, he came with me because I couldn't really understand French at all. But I don't remember how he translated. But for example, like I have to pay to keep the account every month. Because it's not really common in Japan, I think. Then I couldn't understand, and I think he explained me in English.
So he only explained when you didn't understand, or he explained everything?
Normally he tried not to intervene because it's not really good for me to practice French. So normally when I ask him to translate, he does, but in general, no.
Does he translate, or sometimes he answers for you? Like he wouldn't even translate, he would just give the answer.
Once he starts to see that I don't understand the situation, and also sometimes, for example, in the bank, how do you say, the banker, she started to find that I don't really understand French, and then she started to talk to my husband. Then he started to answer.
For you, without translating.
Sometimes yes.
Sometimes. Okay. Did you feel awkward about it, or it's okay?
Not really, uh, because if I don't understand, I ask him, "What did you say? What was the question?"
So you repeat. Okay.
So I can understand the situation, not the right moment, but a little bit after. So, and for me, it's fine if the situation goes smoothly. It's fine. So it's not really so much awkward for me.
Have you ever used any professional translator or interpreter? Like someone who you paid for, maybe at work?
No, I don't think.
Have you ever used translator for like public, like for your government documents and everything? You did need a translator?
Yes, I asked for the translation because it was obligatory.
Okay.
I don't know how this is like to translate the document for marriage because it was in Japanese and we needed to translate in French. And then in that case, there are like a list of translator, like official, I don't know,
Certified.
accepted, certified doctor, translator. So we asked.
Okay.
Yes, it's only.
That's the only situation you
Yes,
use.
I think.
When you use the tool that you said about for translation, you use it when you're reading or when you're talking to people? Have you ever used it like in the middle of conversation, you told the person to stop and you use the tool?
No, mainly when I read something.
Okay.
And when I talk, I don't really use a translator.
What do you do if you're talking to a French person and you don't really understand them? What is your way to communicate with them?
First I ask again, like, could you explain me again? I don't really speak French so well.
And you say this in French?
Yes, in French, but if the thing is not so much serious, and if I don't really understand, I give up thinking. It's like, okay, I smile and I finish. But if it's really serious context, I try to understand, and I don't know because so far for the serious situation, I ask my husband to come with me. So I've never really.
So you perceive before the situation is serious, you ask your husband to come and help you. Okay. You didn't do any medical visits apart from this in France, right? This is the only medical visit you did in France. You did it today in French?
Yes, but the doctor speaks a little bit Japanese.
Okay. And you talked with him in Japanese?
A little bit, yes.
Okay. How did that go? Like the communication and everything?
Oh, it was fine. Because in fact he started speaking French, but there was some word that I couldn't understand. Then he switched into Japanese, so I could understand what he said. So it was fine.
Did that make you feel more comfortable when he switched to Japanese?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Did you do the rapid test for HIV
Yes,
and hepatitis
did
today?
it.
Did you answer the questions on the screen?
Oh yes.
In which language did you answer?
Could I choose?
Yeah, you could have chosen. Yeah,
because it was already in French, so I tried to answer in French.
That was in English and in Japanese also.
Okay.
You chose. You used French.
Yes, because it was in French.
Okay. Did you understand all the questions?
No.
You didn't.
In fact, there are some questions which has the word that I don't really understand well, and in that case, I just skipped.
You just skipped the questions. Okay. But sometimes you cannot skip. How did you do? You just like. Yeah.
No, because in fact, I could skip.
Some of them you can, some of them you can't. Yeah. Okay. So you choose not to answer, like to skip them if you didn't understand. You didn't ask the lady to translate?
No.
Okay.
Because I felt that she is preparing for something.
Okay.
Then it was just like a question for the anonymous question. So I thought it's okay. It's not really.
Do you remember what was the question about, or you don't know? a little bit, even if you didn't understand? Which one?
If for
What was the question that you skipped? You remember a little bit? What was it?
now there was some word that I don't understand, but I don't really remember.
Just a second, I have it here, the question here.
No, I don't really remember what was the word. No.
You don't even like.
Word. And more page. No, no, for example, this barrier.
So number 9.
But then also I was a bit confused because it says comme professional de santé, but because I was a pharmacist, then I was wondering whether can I say that I was a professional santé, or is it only the doctors? But I understood, okay, it's including the pharmacist. So I said.
So you didn't know. Okay. And you didn't know barbier? What's barbier?
No, but I didn't ask.
Barbier is a barber, is like a coiffeur.
Barbier?
Barber, in English, yeah. Okay, good. That's one of the questions that people normally they don't understand. Okay, the couple of questions are basically about HIV, hepatitis, and sexuality and drug. So, in Japan, did you hear about HIV, hepatitis before?
Yes.
In which context? You work in medical field, but like what was the first time? Was it sex education in the school, in university?
HIV. I don't remember the first time, but I just remember one TV drama.
TV drama.
Okay. And in that, I don't know, maybe yes, exactly. And then the heroine in the drama got HIV, and it was maybe when I was I don't know, junior high school student or something.
Did you have any education about this in the school?
Was no, maybe in the high school. Maybe we learned something about the sexual transmitted disease, but I don't really remember. More in the job.
More in the job. Okay. And that's HIV and hepatitis C and B?
Also, it's in the job.
In the job.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it is the place of a doctor to ask you about your sex life, drug use, even if you're not coming with symptoms of STDs, if it's just a normal visit and he start asking you about this for prevention? Do you think it's his place, or do you think it's a bit awkward?
Whether the doctor asked me?
Yeah, either here or another doctor. Is it normal, or would be something weird?
Oh. If, for example, if I already have the symptom, which maybe because of this kind of disease, yes. But if, for example, he without any symptom, and if he starts to ask me or to explain me, it's a bit weird.
Okay. And so, if the doctor is asking you about your sexual habits or drug use for prevention, but this is hypothetical, but he speaks in language that you don't know, like French, do you prefer to have an application between you to translate, or a person to translate?
I prefer application.
Could you tell me why?
Because the subject is a bit personal, and sometimes maybe it's confidential. Then then probably, of course, the person who's gonna translate can really how can I say, protect the confidentiality, but still it's a bit not comfortable for me to be someone else.
Okay.
And to translate it.
So it's a question of comfortability with having someone. Do you have any? If we were trying to create a tool, this app that you'll be using, Do you have any ideas for us? We only ask this question for people who actually have like a high education, like you. Would Do you have any like ideas? What would be the tool?
application.
Yeah. Do you have any ideas? Would it be like a mixture of between drawings? Would be something that it's like. Do you have any ideas about that?
Maybe, but it's for the prevention.
It's for the prevention. Yeah. If the doctor is there to offer you prevention, asking you questions.
I don't know, but yes, I think sometimes there some pictures or I don't know drawings can help to really feel that it's about myself. Because if it's just written in letters, and of course it sounds a bit serious, but sometimes I feel that the thing is a bit far from me. It's like it's not about myself, and I don't really feel so much interest in it if I don't have the interest in the other in before.
Okay.
So probably using some image or pictures can be useful
to personalize it. Okay. That's it. Thank you very much. Again, I'll do the transcription, and then everything would goes afterwards in my research anonymously.